Hey, all, what's going on? Welcome to the show. We're doing another breakdown here of one of the college football playoff quarterfinals. We're doing the Cotton Bowl here, Ohio State, Miami. This won't be as long of a breakdown as the Georgia Ole Miss game. That we're just going to kind of hit a lot of the high points with this one, starting with Miami's defense against against Ohio State's offense. So we're going to look at some different stuff here. Obviously, Miami's defense really got after it in this game. We're going to show you how they did it, how their defensive line really dominated. So, first clip here, you got an early third down. You got Mesidor and you got Bain on the same side. Really kind of just a wicked sort of package rushing wise for Corey Heatherman, the DC at Miami here. And you can see, we're going to watch it from both angles. Uh, you're going to see Mesidor go go B gap, and you're going to see they're just working a TE stunt, right? A tackling in stunt, and you just watch the offensive line how lost and how mismatched they are right here trying to contain these two dudes. And saying he's got his slot on a double move right here to the middle of the field, but he just don't have time to throw it, man. And that was the story of the first half of this game. Ohio State was trying to throw the ball downfield, and he just didn't have time. Here's your end zone view. You see these two guys over here, and man, they just really, like I said, they really just ate up this offensive line by Ohio State, and early and often and got them behind the sticks. I really don't think Ohio State did enough of this stuff early, just getting Jeremiah Smith or any of their playmakers in kind of condensed stuff with a zone look, and then getting the ball out of Sayan's hands quick. So they just work a little spacing deal here. Jeremiah Smith he's he's right there condensed. They can't really bracket him or play him man right there with any help over the top because he's so tight. So they just kind of zoned it off and let it play out. And you see right there, they get a little curl flat deal to Smith. Just a really good play to get the ball out of Sayan's hands quick and just moves the stick right there. That's all you can ask for if you're Ohio State in this game. All right, outside zone right here. This is the play you probably saw on TV, and it was a big one right here by Bain to just fight this reach by this tackle. And honestly, it's kind of crazy. The tight end, he gets up to the second level, and instead of staying on Bain right here, um, as the 5 technique, and is really the reason why he's able to make this play. No help for the tackle. He just keeps fighting the reach, and he just blows it up. And the tight end's trying to climb to the second level, but he's really kind of wasted. Um, he doesn't really block anybody. He ends up working more to the safety than anybody else, but the play doesn't ever get to the safety. Just a great job right there of Bain fighting the reach and whipping that stretch play pretty much all by himself. We talked about this in our preview about looking for Ohio State to go 12 personnel and work these big play action crossers with posts over the top of it, right? And so uh, they finally come to this early second quarter. So you're gonna get Carnell Tate on the cross right here, and Jeremiah Smith's gonna work a beautiful post stem, and they're gonna throw the home run post right here. So you see the play action. You see Tate on the crosser. He's already in Smith's already stemming the corner really nicely on the post to create that space back inside. You see how he spray releases it, meaning he pushes towards the outside leverage defender to create space inside. And when he sticks it, he separates so well on the post, probably better than anybody in college football. If we're being honest, like his separation from the top of the route to the time he catches it is just otherworldly. And you see there, Sayan just throws him a bomb. And Ohio State's able to protect this because they're in 12 personnel. They're max protecting it. 2 guys get out in the route. And I'm really not sure why they didn't do more of this stuff early on. Like Jeremiah Smith got his catches, but uh, they didn't do enough of this stuff, in my opinion, to try to get the ball down the field with some protection. They tried a lot of 11 personnel, 10 personnel stuff that really didn't work out for them. All right, so we'll get to this next one. going to diagnose the pick six right here really quickly. All right, so Ohio State's in this unbalanced set. There's no eligibles to the right. So to a defense, this screams some type of RPO, some type of perimeter game, because if you're unbalanced like this, you have to have an answer. It's probably not drop back pass because you have a short edge here. And it's probably not just straight run because you put these guys out here for a reason, not just a decoy, but you want to have a run answer in case they put, let's say these three receivers are out here, they put four defenders. You want to have an answer. So this is heavy RPO. So Scott, the nickel here, he recognizes this, okay? And Jeremiah Smith's ineligible. He's covered up by the tackle. I'm sorry, he's covered up by Carnell Tate here. So you're thinking, he's thinking right now all day long, this is going to be some type of bubble screen, right? Maybe a one screen to the number one guy where Smith's going to get flat, block the corner. Either way, Smith's blocking. He's covered up. So he can be really aggressive. He's got help. Honestly, I say he gets in trouble by not handing this ball off because look at the number count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably should have handed this football off. You got numbers in the box to run it, and he decides against his, of course, hindsight's 2020. Us looking at it here, but Scott, he baits it, right? And instead of trying to fight the reach, because they're going to double team him really right here with the tight end in motion, he just undercuts it and goes and picks the ball off because he knows he's got help behind him. He knows it's not the end of the world if he doesn't get there and this guy catches it because he's still got three defenders behind him that can make the play on that bubble. And he just picks it, takes it to the house. Just great job right there recognizing that formation and that personnel they're in and what Ohio State's trying to do in that part of the field. And ultimately what his responsibility is, which is to play the screen right there. So just a really good play by him. So it wasn't just Mesidor and Bain that got in on pressure and saying in this game in the pass rush, but they're going to use some of these nickel pressures that they're really good at. Like I said, Miami wants to play this 4 down, 1 high look, but they're not always just going to rush forward. They're going to get more guys involved. They're going to bring 5 and they're going to bring 6. So here they're going to bring the nickel off the edge. They're showing a man look right here. They're bringing the nickel off the edge, and the tackle is so worried about the end rushing that for whatever reason, I mean, this is a slide protection, okay? But Miami really just gets him right here. This ultimately ends up being the man side over here, okay? And I mean, this is the slide side to the left. That's where your center's at. He's got the nose right there, and uh, Ohio State just busts on this, right? They bring 5. They bring the nickel off the edge. Sayin doesn't see it, and he doesn't really have a hot right here either. Okay, he could work he could work the flat up here, I guess, if he sees that nickel coming. But for whatever reason, he doesn't identify it either. He doesn't pick it up with his eyes. He's surprised by the rush, and they end up getting a sack on it right there again. But just watch the relentless sort of white jerseys and white helmets to the ball. Watch how physical Mesidor is when he gets to the quarterback. I mean, he suplexes him into the ground. I mean, Miami is so physical. When they hit people and they tackle people, they run their feet and knock people backwards. So there's none of this catching stuff with Miami's defense when they get to you. They punish you when they get to you. That's just an example of it right there. They really just had Ohio State in kind of a tilt-a-whirl very early on, and Ohio State just didn't have much of an answer for that. You see Ohio State here working a little bit of screen game, but it's 3rd and 20. So screens are great and all against this pass rush to slow it down, but on 3rd and 20, there's not a screen you can get that's, that in your pocket say, hey, we're going to get 20 yards on this. And it's really kind of too late in that instance after you've taken that big 10-yard sack right there. And you're in a lot of trouble already if you're dropping back and into a 3rd and 20 right there. So once again, you see here just an example, these white hats to the ball. Outside zone is really a staple of Ohio State's offense. They take a lot of pride in it. And you see here, now they're staying that double team on Bain right there. But look at 1, look at 10, look at these inside backers getting to the ball. and just running through right there on outside zone, making the play. Just really good team defense overall by this Miami team. They're physical, they run, and they hit, and that's just an example of it right there. I really thought Miami's game plan was perfect to shorten the game, run the football, obviously lean on the run, and Mark Fletcher Jr., and not put so much on Carson Beck except for getting the ball out of his hand quick, giving him these quick free access throws, not trying to throw the ball downfield and force the ball downfield and being patient. And ultimately, it helped them shorten the game where their defense could really tee off. And once they got a couple stops against Ohio State and the game was shortened, that really limited Ohio State's potential to come back because even from just a two-score lead, because the possessions were limited because the way Miami was playing on offense as well. So you kind of see that here. I mean, right here, and another thing in this game was Beck's legs. So they're trying to work a little spacing concept to the boundary, okay? But it's not there. Ohio State's playing man coverage. This is more of a zone beater concept. Beck uses his legs. He gets out of there. I thought he was really good using his legs in this game. Got to see it here from the end zone copy, from what he's looking at. You see his eyes. Nothing's really there. Everything's covered up. He goes through his field progression back into the boundary. He pulls it down. He doesn't force anything. And that's what Miami's going to have to do. That's the game plan for them in this playoff is playing really good defense, running the ball, shortening the game, definitely not turning it over. And that's, I think they're really coaching back up on that. Like, hey, don't force anything that's not there. There's your commitment to the run. Mark Fletcher just running like a wild man here. Um, they're working zone insert. They're inserting 7 right there off the motion, and Fletcher's hitting it a gap, play side a gap, and man, he's just running hard, and he's not going to be tackled very easily. You can see it here from the end zone. The guy comes in motion. You see right there, Fletcher hits it right there between the center and the right guard. There's your center. There's your right guard. That's play side A. Miami's receivers do a really good job of blocking. Check out who this guy is right here coming into the picture. That's number 10. That's Malachi Toney, the freshman playmaker that does everything. He also comes in and cracks the box against Caleb Downs, supposedly the best safety in college football right there, and breaks this run right there. So Miami's receivers do a very good job of blocking. They're an unselfish group that they're not just looking to catch a bunch of balls. They're looking to block for their teammates and kind of break these big runs that Miami's trying to get. Commitment to the run game. Fletcher, hard to tackle. And this really added up in the second half of this game. The drive that Miami finished this game off with, the win at 24-14, and really run the clock out those last 6 minutes or so, you could tell they did a lot of this for the first 3 quarters, just running through these tackles and really wore down this Ohio State defense from being on the field so much. Miami's offensive line is very big. They work a lot of zone scheme stuff, and they just lay on people, lean on people. You see right here, they're just working, outside zone. You see the tackle. He passes that 5 technique off, and climbs up to the linebacker, and there you go. That's all you need. They get him walled off by the tight end right there. And then Fletcher, once again, he's hard to tackle. He's not going to go down easy at all. High percentage throws. Okay. Right here, you get the ball to Malachi Toney. He's a number 3 right here. They're just throwing him a little flat. They're blocking for him on the perimeter. Once again, they do a good job of blocking. Now, he's got to do a better job of hanging on the ball. He had a couple fumbles in this game that, you know, they ended up lucking out. They recovered both of them, but he did fumble twice in this game, including once right there. They can't have turnovers. Miami can't win this thing. They don't have a chance if they turn the football over a couple of times because the way they're playing and shortening the game and winning with defense is just not there. So here you go again. Fletcher still just, man, so hard to tackle. Caleb Downs comes free. That's him right there, unblocked from the safety spot. Fletcher, he meets him in the hole and just dead legs him and bounces off the tackle and gets, a couple or 3 yards right there, and just a really impressive play that, that adds up. That commitment to the run and getting those dirty yards, that adds up over time. and really piles up on these defenses. And those 2 or 3 yard runs eventually become 7, 8, 10 yard runs later on for Miami. And that's really what, like I said, that helped them finish the game. Uh, Here you go. You got a 3rd and short. Really good concept here. You're just working uh, kind of a little snag concept where you got your stack receivers. The back guy's working the snag. The front guy's working the flat, and you're just reading the flat defender, and you're just trying to throw it away from him. Beck, you see there, wide open, just get very quickly gets the ball out of his hand, beating his zone look. That's the kind of stuff they move the sticks that Miami just continues to do. They're not asking him to do a ton. He's not throwing it for 300 yards. He's throwing it for like 120 a game in these playoffs, but it's working because the run game and the commitment to it is there, and then they can mix in that quick, intermediate, high percentage passing game and not waste downs. And that's really what's helping Miami win, uh, you know, win these playoff games right now. Here you go, high percentage again, first down, getting it in Tony's hands, getting the screen there, 5 yards, 6 yards consistently, right? They're not really blowing you up, but they're getting high percentage and they're getting in manageable 2nd and 3rd downs. Go ahead and take you to the touchdown play here for Miami on this drive because it's a thing of beauty. So they get in big personnel right here. So really, they're bringing an extra offensive lineman. And then, so there you go. There's your tackle, your guard, your center, your guard, your tackle, your extra tackle. And then they bring in another tackle as a tight end. And then you also have 2 true tight ends here. So obviously a heavy run formation here. This is going to be an RPO for Miami. All right. So what you're going to end up getting here is it's a quarterback run RPO. So they're running quarterback counter. All right. So what's going to happen is everybody here is blocking counter. Okay. Front side, we're blocking back. Guard from the backside is going to try to pull a kick. The sniffer is going to pull wrap to the 2nd level. Okay. And everybody else here, we're just walling off our side. The back is running a rail route or a wheel route. And all Beck is doing, Beck's going to run counter. Is a quarterback called run. But if this linebacker, if he does not run with Fletcher on the wheel, then Beck's going to kind of take like a little, sort of a couple little fake steps to kind of hold the defense, and then he's going to give it to Fletcher if nobody covers him, and that's what they do right here. Just a great play by Shannon Dawson, the OC by Miami. You can see there. I mean, Beck's eyes are right there on that linebacker. Safety is eyeing him up too. Nobody's eyes are on Fletcher. It's all he doesn't need much space right there. That's all he needs right there. It's all the leverage he needs. He dumps it to him for the touchdown. Just a great executed red zone touchdown call. This is a quarterback RPO. Quarterback's running counter or quarterback's throwing the wheel to the back right there. Just a great look and a great play design down there on the goal line or in the red zone. Here's your look at it from the back. I mean, and Beck, like I said, he does a good job. They're not asking him to do a lot. Hey, read this out. A lot of quarterbacks can do this right here. Don't put too much on him. Don't force stuff downfield. Don't turn it over. I mean, that's a really good play right there. And one of the reasons Miami won this game is because they're not asking their quarterback to do too much. They're committing to the run. They're throwing high percentage stuff for 3rd down conversions and for touchdowns.